Hey YouTube, it's Marita, and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this edition, we're going to continue my series of my narcissistic marriage, my road to recovery. And today we're going to talk about, have you noticed that if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, that everybody comes before you? And you, the husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. But everybody else comes before you. Let's talk about it. Welcome back. My name is Dr. Marita P. I'm a registered nurse. However, we're not talking nursing today. We're going to continue my series of my narcissistic marriage, my road to recovery. And today, as we stated in the introduction, we're talking about, have you noticed that you are at the bottom of the totem pole, shall I say, when it comes to your relationship with the narc? And this is what I mean. When it comes to narc, everybody else is a priority but you. And you will soon come to realize when they have side chicks and side men that you're at home taking care of everything, but they're out in the streets doing whatever they do, and you are literally at the bottom. Their side chicks and side men come before you. I wouldn't say all narcs cheat, but I would say that majority of them probably do, including mine. And the sad thing is, a lot of them will cheat in your face, and you don't even realize it. So what I mean by that is, I don't mean like, you catch somebody in the act. That's obvious. But it may be little things like, in my situation where my husband didn't have a car because it got repossessed because he didn't pay the bill. And next thing you know, the manager at the job starts coming to pick him up. And in his simple mind, he didn't think nothing of it because of the fact that I guess he felt like that was just the manager come picking him up. But in my mind, I'm kind of like, this is disrespectful. And the manager was a simpleton as well. Because, anytime that you are dealing with somebody who is married or in a relationship, you would want to introduce yourself to that significant other just to be respectful, really. And it wasn't until my son, my 5-year-old, he was 5 at the time, he's 9 now, who went to the window or to the door and said, there's a mama out there. And I guess in his little mind, mama meant woman. So when he said mama, in my mind, I'm kind of like, mama, that meant woman. I look, and sure enough, there's a woman out there. And he proceeds to go to work and get in the car. She had an SUV, and get in the vehicle with her and drive on to work. And next thing I know, when I addressed him about that later on, oh, that's my manager. She's gay. Last I checked, that didn't make a difference whether you was gay or not. It's not respectable. Fast forward, next thing I know, at one of his jobs, he was trying to tell me that he was at work, and I happened to be up there. I said, your vehicle's not here. Guess who pulls up in his vehicle? So he didn't know I was outside his job when he wanted to text me and send me a picture of him showing me that he was actually working at that moment. So I'm sitting in the parking lot of this establishment, and I'm like, oh, you're at work, but I don't see your vehicle out here. Oh, it's out there. It's out there. I said, well, I'm sitting outside, and I don't see a vehicle here. And a woman pulls up in his vehicle. Another woman, mind you, not the same one that he took off with that one time. So she pulls up, gets out the car. She doesn't know who I am. And she gets out the car and proceeds to walk into the establishment. And he's coming out because he doesn't believe that I'm outside. And of course, she greets him, much like you would if you were trying to greet someone that you are involved with, shall I say. And he's trying to, with his eyes this big, trying to push her off and try to make it seem like, she just introducing me. She just went, had to go. She didn't have a vehicle. She just needed to go get pick up her kids from daycare. Now, this is a Friday night at 10 p.m. I'm not saying they don't have daycares open that late. I'm not saying that. because I've actually known some 24-hour daycares, but it's not very often that you do so. Why would you allow another woman to get into your vehicle, drive it to go pick up whatever, and then she come back to work, and that be okay with your significant other? Because it's not. At this point in time, I was completely done. I was completely done. Anyway, I was buying time. As you've watched my other videos, I was buying time because of the fact that I was finishing school. So I didn't even really care at this point in time. But at this point in time, I'm beginning to realize how many other people are there. How many are there? And I think for me, that was the biggest thing. How many other people are there? Because he was, you know, with the one who picked him up, but then he got a vehicle a few weeks later, and now somebody else is driving the vehicle. He wouldn't come home for nights at a time or days at a time. Or he would come home, get my son off the bus, because that's what he had to do, and then he would leave, and I wouldn't see him until the next time to get my son off the bus. So like if it was a weekend, I wouldn't see him the entire weekend because he was working. Let me tell you, if you're dealing with a narc, 9 times out of 10, you are not the only woman. You're not the only man. And I say that in the sense that if you are still being intimate with this person, you need to protect yourself, because you will come home. They will come home and bring you all kinds of diseases and think nothing about it, because they don't care. It's never about you. It's always about the narc. Now, luckily for me, I don't have any of those issues. Or I didn't have any of those issues. But the thing is, I'm just trying to warn people who are still involved with their narc person, meaning you're still intimately involved. You're still involved in somehow, some way with your person, not where you're just basically roommates and you are just, for me, buying time, because that's what I was doing. So be mindful of those things. You are never the only person. Narcs have to have supply. Fuel, if you will. It's like a car. A car does not go anywhere without any fuel in it. The more fuel, the further it goes. Same thing with a narc. They have to have supply. They have to have somebody who is stroking their ego, someone who's making them feel like they are important. And when we get to the point of gray rocking them and making them feel like they're not important, they're going to find somebody to replace us in that sense. Even though we still may have a benefit to them. It may be for sex. It may be for finances, which is my situation. It was for the money, because he needed somewhere to stay. Because he could not live on his own. Hence is why he's living with his family now. But anyway, you're not gonna be the only one. So I need you to be mindful of that. And then the thing is, if any of you are fearful of, well, leaving, I want to leave, but for the kids' sake, I don't want to leave. No, you're doing your children a disservice by staying. Because what you're showing your kids is that it's okay for dad or mom to treat us this way. It's okay for them to treat us this way. And also, you are also showing your children that when they grow up, it's okay for them to be treated that way as well. So do you want to have a son? I have girls and boys, but I have sons who they may grow up and say, you know what? I'm just going to shack up with a woman and shack up with several women and use them and treat them wrong. I would never want my boys to grow up and thinking that's normal and that's okay. So I had to make a decision to make me happy and to make my boys happy as well, or for their mental health as well as physical health, financial health even, that I had to get out of that situation. So you just have to come up with a plan to do so, an exit strategy to do so. When that time comes, you make that time, and you do that when you're ready to do so. But just know these people never get better. Never. They will future fake. They make promises that they will never keep. Promises that they will never, ever keep. And if they do keep something, it's something small typically, and they will rub it in your face till there's no end. That's how they all operate. They all have a script that they go by, a mental script that they go by, and they don't get any better. They don't get any better. So what do you do in that situation? You have to have a plan. Whether you're male or female, you have to have a plan. What I'm going to do to get out of my situation, what I'm going to do to make myself better, what I'm going to do to make myself happier and healthier. And it is truly a healing process. It's been over a year since the person I'm talking about has been gone, pretty close to about a year and a half, 18 months since he's been gone. And it has been a roller coaster in terms of emotions. I can come on here and put on a straight face, but I can't, I did one video of a vlog behind the scenes of having good days and bad days, and I may continue that. But it is nothing like what people think it is. Healing from a bad relationship is hard enough. Healing from a relationship with a narc is somehow worse, in my opinion. In my opinion. But it is what it is. So I want you to be mindful that, you have to have a plan. You have to get out. You're not the only one. You're at the bottom of the totem pole. He or she is using you for some type of good or service. They care nothing about you. Learn that. Know that. And the quicker you know that, the quicker you make an exit strategy, the quicker you get out, the sooner you can start to heal. And the sooner your children can start to heal. And that's what's the most important thing here, is healing and getting past all that. So I'm going to end the video here. Comment below. As usual, follow me on IG, TikTok. And until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.